What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, you're welcome, you are welcome. Welcome back to another episode of Fabric Friday, where we do style analysis, style illustration, fabrics, and everything in between. Today I'm going to be doing an illustration for a gown I made for my cousin's wedding. It's a mermaid gown, very simple, very beautiful. In fact, it is still one of my best bridal gowns that I have made, and I'm so in love with it. The only problem now is because of the coronavirus, there is nowhere to wear the gown to. You understand? But I'm going to show you the easiest way, the simplest way, and the fastest way to go about cutting and sewing this style. Okay? Okay. Permit me if you see me looking this way. My other phone is acting up. In fact, filming this video was such a struggle, I tell you guys. Anyways, permit me if you see me looking this way. My laptop is this way. Okay, so this is a very beautiful gown, and the fabric is a lycra fabric. Okay, like the first time my cousin told me, oh, you're going to be on my train, I don't really like being on bridal trains, because a lot of the times I'm a rebel. Like when they tell me sew this style, I'll end up tweaking my here and there, because I'm not always loving the styles they give to me. But this, I tried to modify my own style, like into something as closely related as what was given to me. Okay, now this is a very beautiful, is it baby pink? I don't know how to call it, a baby pink. Let me know in the comment section the color you think it is. I think it's a fuchsia pink, but it's not really fuchsia, but it is pink. See, pink color, they have different variations, and I don't know, they have baby pink, onion pink, pink, whatever it is. Comment down in the comment section the shade of pink you think this is. So this is a pink lycra fabric, and because I wasn't feeling well when I made this dress, I made this dress in 2 days. But if I was feeling okay and nothing was wrong with me, I would have finished the dress in 1 day. So let's start with dissecting the style. This is a mermaid gown, and it's just divided into 2 parts. The top part, which is the blouse, and the bottom part, which is a mermaid skirt. This gown has a princess dart. It is not even a princess dart bustier. It is just a very basic princess dart, and that is something I love about this gown. One of the things I love about this gown is how simple, it is, and how easy and fast it was to make. Because even though I wasn't feeling well, imagine when you're not feeling well, you're sewing a bridal gown. You understand? Like when I wanted to sew this gown, the first thing I did was I worked with 3 yards, and I still had fabric left. So give or take, you sew this gown with maybe almost 3 yards, but not all 3 yards. You understand? So when I wanted to sew this gown, the first thing I did was I cut my blouse, and the length of the blouse for this gown was 16 inches. I cut it just above my navel point. I didn't want my half blouse starting at the point of my navel. I wanted it to start at a point where it can still cover up my tummy a little bit, because at that point I was having a bulgy tummy from eating late at night. And sometimes when you cut your half blouse a little too low, it doesn't come out well. So the half blouse was cut at inch 16. That means the length of this blouse right now for this gown is 16 inches. And after cutting the blouse, I went ahead to cut a basic princess dart. If you don't know how to cut a princess dart, I have a detailed tutorial here on this channel on how to cut a princess dart. And after cutting the blouse, that's length 16, I went in to insert my princess dart, and I cut my neckline dimensions and everything. See, I don't want to confuse you, just check out this clip on how to cut the blouse.
So to start, I've marked my bust point, my under bust point, and my shoulder point. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go down by 3 inches. This is paper, so I just marked whatever I want to mark, but with your fabric I went down by 3 inches, and I'm going to connect my neck depth to my shoulder point. Okay, now from the shoulder point I'm going to extend my marking by 2.5 inches. I'm calling the normal measurement I used for the fabric here. Okay, for paper I'm just eyeballing it. So you are going to connect that 2.5 inch mark to your shoulder depth, which was what I did here. Okay, so I've connected them together. Then from those 2 points I'm going to go down by 2.5 inches. Okay, so from the shoulder point I'll go down by 2.5 inches. From the shoulder point extension I'll also go down by 2.5 inches. That's when you're working with your fabric. And after doing that, I connected my markings together to form a sleeve, and I drew my armhole curve. So I've joined my shoulder point extension, which is more like the sleeve, and I've drawn my armhole curve. The next thing I'm just going to do now is to insert my dart, which is at normal 4 inches. So before, I didn't mark my nipple point, so this is my shoulder point, nipple point, under bust point, and I've marked the point for my dart. I'm just going to insert the princess dart here. So after inserting the princess dart, this is what we have here. You're just going to go in and shape your armhole more, because by the time you sew it will jump. You're just going to shape in the armhole more. Okay, then you're going to just insert your bust measurement, your under bust measurement, and your waist measurement. You're going to insert them. You're going to add your sewing allowance, and you are going to cut. I have a detailed sew along video on how I made this particular bridal gown, so just check it out, link in the description box. Okay, so this is what it looks like. You can repeat same process for the back. The only difference is you have to attach your your zip allowance. Okay, so this is how to cut the blouse.
Now you've seen how to cut the blouse. After I went ahead to cut the blouse and I inserted my princess dart, next thing I went ahead to do was I cut my mermaid skirt. Now you can look at this mermaid skirt and you'll be like, oh, the back is longer than the front. No, I kid you not, guys. The front and the back, they are the same length. And that is something I love about this gown, because when you're wearing your heels, I like my gown when it is long, it is long. When it is short, it is short. When it is 3/4, ladies and gentlemen, it is 3/4. And since it's a bridal gown, I was going for a really full and flowy effect. So when I was taking the length for this gown, when I got to my heel, I extended it by 10 more inches. So you can see that this gown is actually sweeping the ground. Like, I had to soak this gown in water when I was done wearing it. So this is a basic mermaid skirt, and I just cut the mermaid skirt, the front and the back part the same length, but because the skirt, the length I use is way longer than like my normal skirt, that is why I have this flowy effect, okay, on the skirt. So if you don't know how to cut a mermaid skirt, I have a detailed tutorial on how to cut a mermaid skirt here on this channel, link in the description box. Check it out, and also check out this clip on how to cut and sew a mermaid skirt.
So to cut the mermaid skirt, cutting a mermaid skirt, guys, is very simple. I have a detailed tutorial, like I said, in the description box, but let me just show you guys a very quick way to cut it. So you're going to mark out my desired measurement, and like I mentioned in the video, I extended my skirt measurement by 10 more inches. That was when I was marking the skirt. So you're just going to mark your whole measurement plus the 10 inches and everything. You're going to mark it out when you're marking out your desired length for the skirt. You go ahead to mark your waist, then you draw your mermaid skirt like this, then you just cut it out. Okay, so let's say for example my normal skirt length, let me say, is 50, but because I want this flowy effect, I'm going to cut 60. Okay, you now understand. Now, so after cutting the front piece, very simple, you're going to go ahead to cut the back piece. You're going to go ahead to cut the back piece, and for the back piece, you're just going to first of all mark out your zip allowance. You're going to fold it. You know, if you're working your fabric, you secure with a pin, then you place the front part on the back part and you just trace through. Okay, so you trace your front part, you trace it on the back part fabric. Like I said, I have a detailed tutorial on how I made a detailed sew along video on how I made this gown, link in the description box. Just check it out. Okay, so you just trace it out and you cut. Okay, trace it out and you cut. After cutting the back part, you just take your time to cut it. Make sure that that flare diversion point, you know, it is the same for both the front part and the back part. So after cutting, the simple thing you do is just to sew the front part and sew the back part together. This is what we have here. Is this simple? Is this easy? Check out the sew along video, link in the description box. Okay,
now you've seen how I cut the blouse, how I cut the mermaid skirt. If you want to sew this gown, what you have to do is simply join the pieces of the back part, join them together, like join your princess seam both for the back part and the front part, join everything together. After joining it together, turn over the neckline, turn over the armhole. After doing that, you join your mermaid skirt, both the front and the back. Then the next thing you go ahead to do is to attach the blouse to the skirt. So after attaching the blouse to the skirt, you go to the back, attach the zip. After attaching the zip, you use either your palm. First of all, for the patches you can see on the blouse, I first of all laid it on the blouse without the gum to see how it looks. I think I haven't trimmed the one here and there. I trimmed it to place it the way I want. After placing it, then I used my gum, to gum the patches. That's the lace patches. I used it to gum it to the gown. After that, I went in with my needle and thread again to hold the patches in place. Then I've not gotten my riveting machine, so I used my hand to sew in the beads. Now I have a riveting machine, so if I want to do this again, I'm going to use my rivet machine to puncture the beads into the dress. And if you don't know, I sell rivet machine. Hit me up on my DM on Facebook or Instagram if you want to buy one. So after sewing in the beads, for the hem, I used a very sharp scissors to neatly trim the hem. This is a lycra fabric. You can't exactly weave it or sew it. The other girls on the train, they sewed the hem of theirs, but I didn't want to sew mine. Mine is still not sewn and it's still looking, smooth and crisp, and it's just there. So you just need a very sharp scissors to trim the end smoothly and neatly. Okay. After doing that, I gave the dress a really, really, really good press. And guys, this is the easiest way, the simplest way, and the fastest way to sew this gown. It is so simple. It is so easy. It's been a year and a couple of months since I made this gown, and I'm still in love. So if you try out this gown, definitely send me a picture on Facebook or Instagram. If you enjoyed this video, please give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, join the family. I want to hit 50k this year, so please join the family. It means a lot to me. Do come back for more videos. I'll see you in my next. Bye. Join the back part of the gown. Now if you said, I don't know why a video that is not supposed to take me forever to film is taking me forever. I don't know why, but we are here today. The setup is ready. Let us go. I don't know, I'm so low on energy today.